guys, welcome back to Wally's Working and Project Good Enough. All right, today we're throwing the old proverbial parts cannon at the COE today. Now that the cooling system's ready to go, we can go ahead and fire this thing up, hopefully run it for a little bit longer. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and try to take care of some of the issues that this thing has, and hopefully it will cure our problems that we're having with this thing and how it's running. All right, so the few of the things that I picked up was I got some new connectors for the fuel injectors themselves because it may or may not have backfired through the throttle body and caught the wiring harness on fire. Allegedly, maybe, I don't know. So those got to be replaced. I got a new base gasket for the throttle body itself. Now I did order a 3-wire. This is a heated O2 sensor for this as well. Supposedly these do help quite a bit because they're heated, and that does put it into, what is it, closed loop, I think, a little bit quicker. It does help the computer, supposedly. And then to go along with the O2 sensor, I did get the wiring harness as well. And the wiring harness is made by Michigan Motorsports. They do make this specifically for this reason. And then again, I also did get 2 brand new injectors. So we'll get these installed. I didn't know the injectors came with a gasket kit, an O-ring kit, but they did. But then I also got a normal kit as well for the rest of it. So now I have plenty of gaskets. All right, off with you. I just took the throttle body off as you saw, but the cooling system is done. I got the thermostat in, filled the block up completely with water. That's ready to go. All the hoses are on, everything's clamped and ready, and I also filled the radiator up. The new 3-wire O2 sensor is in, and I ran the ground just right here to the frame, and then the power wire, I just ran it up the frame rail. Oh, I got a huge mess going here. Let's see. Okay. These things are pretty simple. They should be a heck of a lot easier than a carburetor, that's for sure. Here's one. Yeah, these O-rings expanded like twice their size. Oh, no, not quite twice their size, but they definitely expanded quite a bit. So I couldn't get that one to seal. Now this shaft and everything on this thing feels perfect. It's solid. And this motorhome, again, it's only got 30,000 miles on it. Curious what this idle air control valve looks like. I mean, it looks fine. It's clean. There's no carbon on it. Like nothing. There's no carbon on this thing at all. It's really clean. All right, I'm gonna clean all this stuff up, get it all ready to put back together. Give it all the ugga-duggas here. Let's get the fuel. Oh, I should have put the fuel lines on first. Dang it, these things are a little stiff and tricky. There it goes. All right, all the plugs are changed, got everything on there. I think I'm ready to twist the key and prime it, and let's see what happens. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting a change. For some reason, I just have a gut feeling something's wrong with the ECU. I'm trying to be positive, I know, but let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have the fuel pump plugged in, dang it. Sorry. That helps. All right, let's try that again. Nope, big leak. Okay, where's that leaking from? The regulator. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right. Sometimes I just want to give up. It looks like it's leaking out of the new diaphragm that I put in, the fuel pressure, or the pressure regulator diaphragm. All right, guys, I ended up taking this diaphragm out. It looks like it was pushing down. You can kind of see it right there. It looks like it was pushing down. This thing is like a lot thinner and softer than the original one. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the original one. It's just as pliable as this one is, but it's just a much thicker material. So let's try it again. I think we're good. Pump's running. Yeah, I think we're okay. Whoa, see, it's hanging open again. Oh, gosh. It's just over-fueling. I'm gonna pin this thing wide open and let it sit. I don't know. It's doing the same thing. I don't know, guys. Kind of at a loss for words here. I just have a feeling the ECM is bad. My gut tells me the ECM is bad because that thing has just been kind of, let's be honest, I haven't been very nice with it as far as the wiring harness and all that stuff, kind of moving it around here and there. And then when the motorhome chassis, before I pulled it apart, it did get some light rain on it. I know there's no signs of water. I pulled the ECM apart and checked the circuit board. I didn't see anything on it, and I looked at everything. I didn't see any bird marks. I didn't see any signs of water, nothing inside of it. I'm wondering if something did get inside of it and I just can't see it. I don't know. I really don't. I've got a fuel pressure testing gauge set. Let me just verify that real quick. But the thing is the symptoms that it's got with the injector hanging open and the way it's just pulsing so much fuel as it's cranking, that's telling me that it's something else besides fuel pressure. I think I have plenty of fuel pressure. Another thing with these things is the distributor. I have heard that the magnetic pickup in these does fail. And so as it's spinning around, it's throwing the ECM off. And then that could be the reason that it's over-fueling and over-pulsing the fuel injector, is because it's not getting a proper signal from the distributor pickup, the magnetic pickup. Also the ignition module as well is a common thing. I've also heard the coils. If the coils are bad as well, they throw the wrong signal to the ECM. So all of that stuff is tied to the ECM. The temperature switch, the ignition, all of that stuff is what is telling the ECM what to do. You know, these old primitive systems. But anyway. All right, let me keep tinkering. Let me figure this thing out. We'll get it. All right, guys, I went down to O'Reilly to have them test this ignition module. They don't test them anymore. So I just ended up buying one. And I threw it in. It's at least starting on its own now. It wasn't doing that before. And it's idling and everything at the appropriate RPM now. It seems like it's running a lot better. I turned the ignition on. It's not over-fueling and spraying. But I still have one more issue. So the throttle response is a little off still, and it's backfiring through the throttle body a little bit as well. See, it's not. Okay, so I still have that issue, but it's idling much better, and it's starting on its own. Yeah, I couldn't start it on its own without having to give it a bunch of throttle, so now it will. So I think the ignition module fixed some of our problems. I guess I should check the battery too to make sure that it's actually charging and getting voltage. It's definitely running better, that's for sure. That whistle that you're hearing right now, is the charcoal canister. This is supposed to vent to the gas tank. I just don't have it hooked up. So that's that whistle you're hearing. There's no other vacuum leaks. I've checked everything. So yeah, I just got to figure out that bumble now. You can hear it there. This terrible throttle response. Yeah, it's definitely flowing water in there. I can see it. I'm gonna put the cap on, see if it'll build a little pressure. Okay, I think we've got about maybe 50% of our issues fixed. If I have to replace the pickup and the distributor, I gotta pull the distributor out to do it. So I think we're gaining on it. Maybe it just needs to learn too, I don't know. It's got a little kind of jump in the idle, kind of, you know, when it starts, but it wasn't doing that before. It wasn't even starting before. So that's a win there alone. I'm happy that it's at least doing that, and it's idling at the right RPM is what it sounds like too. We're gaining. All right, let me figure this out. Let me play with this thing a little bit more. Let me put my head down and try. All right, guys, I'm at a loss. I went down and got a coil for it and a cap and rotor just to try those just in case. It was kind of just seeming like it was ignition related. I verified fuel pressure. Fuel pressure's good. It's got like 11, 12 PSI. And then I put the coil on it and the cap and rotor. And then now it's back to hanging up the injector again. I don't know. I'm incredibly frustrated right now. I really am. I've been messing with this thing all day. Well, for a few days actually, trying to get it, chasing my tail basically. I'm trying not to throw parts at it, but I really have nothing to test. You know, I have no equipment to test this stuff. It's just like an intermittent problem with it overfueling and hanging the injector open and yada yada. And it's just, I just keep leaning towards the ECM. I've been trying to find somebody mentioned in the comments too about the circuit boards on those and like re-sweating all the whatever, reflowing the circuit board or something. I can't find anybody in the valley that wants to do it or will call me back. Nobody's interested in messing with this old stuff anymore, at least here. At this point, I'm done. I'm ready to just throw the carburetor on it and be done with it. You know, I've already wasted so much money in parts, and you know, I mean, I'm still in it cheaper than buying a controller, a standalone controller for the transmission. But at this point, I can't keep doing it. I can't keep. It's just gonna drive me insane. I don't know. I'm gonna ask a few friends that are mechanics and see what they think. You know. And go from there. So anyway, I'm gonna call the video. I got nothing else. I really don't. Short video. Good news is the cooling system works. The cooling system holds pressure. I got it up to like 210, and everything's fine. Everything's holding pressure. No issues at all with that. So I think we're okay there. I'll let you know what's going on. Again, any more suggestions helps a lot. You know, I've been checking everything everybody's telling me, and other than replacing the distributor now and the complete distributor and the ECM, that's kind of where I'm at. Oh boy, this is the joys of this stuff, you know. Sometimes you just gotta fight through it, you know. I'll give it a little bit longer. I'll fight it. I'll try to fight it a little bit longer, and then I'm done. I'm done. You know, which sucks because that means I'm gonna have to redo all the wiring I did, rip out all this fuel injection wiring, and because the carburetor only needs the HEI only needs one wire, you know, to run. So sorry you have to see me like this, but hey, this is real life, you know. I'll take you guys through all this stuff, you know. This is real life stuff, and this is what I'm going through at the moment, so. All right, guys, here's one of the things that is mysterious with this thing. I've been sitting here working on this thing. I went through the ECM and verified all of my grounds and my key hot power, checked the fuses, all of that stuff. All my grounds are good, all the power sources are good. But then once I started working on this thing, if I turn the ignition on, don't crank it, that right injector just hangs right wide open as soon as I turn the key on. Now I went through and unplugged every single sensor one at a time, tried it again, unplug one, try it, unplug one, try it, and it's still hanging it wide open. So my thing is just the ECM. I think something is in the ECM is wrong, and it's grounding out that circuit and causing the injector to fire. So And then if I unplug the injector, so it's not mechanical. So if I unplug the injector and turn the key on, it stops. And it's completely random. Sometimes it'll do it, sometimes it won't. Right now, it's actually never done this before, hanging wide open, key on. Usually it'll stop. I don't know. So I found a bunch of diagnostic stuff online, and I started testing sensors, map sensor. You know, instead of just replacing parts, I'm trying to figure out how to test everything with an ohm meter, voltmeter. I tested all the references to the ECM, to the injectors, all that stuff, and everything looked like it was working okay. And then all of a sudden, it just started. I was sitting here running it, was doing the same thing, and then all of a sudden, the check engine light went out, and it started running fine, and it smoothed right out. And now it's revving up. I have no idea. All right, so I'm on my phone because I'm just doing this impromptu here. So the check engine light comes on as normal. Let me see if it'll start. Now it won't start because I turned the phone on. There it goes. Check engine light's out. Your guess is as good as mine, guys. I have no idea. It's running really rough, but the spark plugs are completely fouled now, and I do have a couple problem child wire plug wires that probably need to be addressed. I have no idea. You tell me. Did it take that long for the computer to learn? Because I had done a couple of resets on the computer in the past, you know. I did change the fuel pump. I put the original motorhome fuel pump in it. And another thing that it was doing earlier was when it was sitting here idling, the fuel injectors would just stop working and then the truck would shut off. Or they would just kind of cut out intermittently. And that's why I checked all the injector wiring harness and everything, and the references and all that stuff, and all that's been fine. So I really don't know. I don't know what to say. I was about to order an ECM, but now all of a sudden it's working. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna mess with this a little bit longer. This is just, it's the most bizarre set of circumstances. It just keeps changing. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you at this right now, and I'm just gonna mess with this over the weekend. Sorry for the short video, but I don't know. I'm just trying to fight through this thing. I'm trying to put my head down. I gotta get this thing running right so I can move on. I need to know if I'm putting a carburetor on it or if I'm leaving it alone. That's the latest. I'll see you later.